All right, all right, all right. I don't know what is up with this. I have forgotten how to use this for some reason. Just being off of this a couple days, I've forgotten how to navigate through it. First of all, my name is 12 Gauge. Welcome. If this is your first time here, it usually isn't this confusing. It's a lot more streamed. I don't know what my problem is today. Um, Hopefully I'll get back on it and try to get it smoothly done. If you've returned, Golf Inspector General, hello. Aquarius Yaya, hello. Sergeant, you're going to be here somewhere, I'm sure. Thank you guys for being here and coming in here to the live. I tried to record this and upload it, and for some reason it didn't go well. So let's try to do this again. Everything that I say here is speculatory in nature unless proven by factual and research material. I speak in a general terms, so I really don't speak on anybody or to anybody specifically unless I call you out by name. Tonight we're going to talk about ASHLYNN Couch. We have heard a lot about ASHLYNN Couch in the very beginning of this whole IDAHO4 case. I don't know if you know who she is. If you don't know, she was the sixth roommate that was supposedly still paying rent at the 1122 King Road house. She had graduated, as she states in this interview, and many people were speculating that she was still paying rent because she was utilizing the downstairs bedroom, obviously to push drugs out of. These were some of the speculations that were being thrown around. Golf Inspector, if you're in here, can you kind of guide me with this? Because I really don't remember all of it. You're a little more versed on that part of it than I am. If I'm doing and saying correctly, if you could help me out, that'd be great. But supposedly she was very intricate in the webbings of the 1122 King Road house. She was close with Maddie, and therefore, after the murders, um, her name just popped up everywhere. You know, she was obviously part of the drug culture, part of the dealing out of the house, and this, that, and the other. She did have blonde hair when this supposedly happened. The individual that we're going to look at here in a second, she has blonde hair or brown hair now. Okay. Um, okay. Well, let's just go with the video. And she explains a little bit about her role in the whole thing. Not really the drug culture part of it, but basically who she is. It's a short video, and I can get into a longer video here in a second. But let me just go to the longer one because this one explains a little more.
We have the Idaho College murder case. We're now hearing from a former roommate who once lived at the house where the killings took place. Kana Whitworth is here in the studio with us and has more. Good morning to you, Kana.
Robin, good morning. So ASHLYNN Couch moved out of that house on King Road months before her friends were murdered. And this morning, she shares the memories, both happy and haunting, including the moment she got that vandal alert that changed everything.
I mean, I couldn't even walk to my car in the dark for months after, it happened.
Fear lingering with ASHLYNN Couch after her friends were stabbed to death in their off-campus home in Moscow, Idaho, a home where she too once lived.
It crosses my mind more that could have happened while I was there. And, you never know how long someone is watching your house.
The sixth bedroom on King Road was hers. And now this morning, she's speaking out for the first time on camera since Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and her boyfriend Ethan Chapin were murdered in November of 2022. ASHLYNN initially signed the lease to live in the popular off-campus home, telling our station KXLY that she moved out in May of 2022 after graduating the semester before. But she stayed close with the girls, especially Maddie, sharing the last message she sent to her after getting an alert from the University of Idaho that there had been a suspected homicide.
I texted our group of friends and I just had said, has anyone heard from Maddie. And I remember like my last text message to her was like, "Are you okay?" And I feel like right then and there, I kind of just knew that something was wrong.
The man charged with their murders, Brian Koberger, a judge entering a not guilty plea on his behalf, as his defense team says he was out driving that cold November night, as he often did, to hike or stargaze. But prosecutors allegedly linking Koberger to the heinous crimes through DNA left on the button strap of a knife sheath found underneath Maddie.
You wish that you could just say goodbye. And that's one thing that I just wish that I could do at least one more time, is like, you know, just give her one last hug just to be able to say goodbye.
Now, the home that they shared has been torn down. The next hearing in this case is May 14th. And Koberger's attorney, Ann Taylor, says she will deliver a witness list and exhibits that she says will support his alleged alibi. And you guys might remember they've also said they'll rely heavily on expert testimony from cell phone experts to prove what they say he was doing that night.
Oh, this is chilling.
Yeah, it's true. It certainly is.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm glad that y'all could hear and see that now. You know, I'm going to show a picture of Maddie's bedroom. I want to talk about that a little bit also, because I haven't seen this picture in a long time. I have two pictures. This interview was done 7 hours ago. That's what you're asking. If you can all see the bedroom picture there, I wanted to pull this up because I wanted to discuss a lot of these pictures that I was going through today to discuss some of the logistics about the night. As you can see in this picture, you know, a lot of times we envision Maddie's room without furniture in it. This is a picture of her room. As you can tell, there was another bed in front of her bed. So this was Maddie's room with Maddie's bed, obviously with the pink comforter looking throw right there. There's a window right there. Very small room. So what I wanted to show here was the fact that to the left of this picture would have been the doorway, okay? To the left here would have been the doorway. Supposedly the individual walked in and did the attack. Let's say that Maddie was right here at the left portion of the bed. This is where she was deceased at. Kaylee, as we found out by other statements by her parents, by news articles, and all this type of information, which I'm going to tie all this together. I just wanted to show you really quickly what I'm working on. In this corner right here, as you can see the light strewn about, Kaylee would have been right here where this pillow is in the corner, supposedly, as her parents stated. She was slumped over. And she was right here in this corner. Maddie would have been right next to her, right here on the left side, or actually on the right side of the bed. And this is where they found the knife sheath, on her right side, which would have been closest to the wall. This is where they would have found it. And as you can see, there's like a makeshift, I don't know what you would call this, like where you store makeup or post-it notes or pens or even socks or stuff like that. Right there in the middle, there's a chair, there's a desk, and then there's pictures of Obviously, it looks like Bethany and somebody else. And then there's some other pictures up here on this cork board, and it says Pi Phi. It looks like she was very into butterflies, so there's a lot of butterflies here. And then there's another desk. I think this room was made for two, obviously, because it had two desks. Like most rooms where you sleep that house college students, they usually have these desks right here that look like this. There's a place right here where you hang your clothes, you can put your shoes, things of that nature. Even though this wasn't a dorm room, it's kind of set up like one. Obviously, right here you can see what looks like, I don't know what view that would be, whether it be the side. This would be King Road on the side looking out. And this would be the Queen Road apartments up here with this car up here. Because obviously on where the picture is taken, that would be the backside of the house. Would that not be? I believe so. I wanted to show y'all that picture right there. And I want to show you another picture. Here's the picture with the different lighting. Obviously, there's a good vibes sign here. There's a mirror. There's these lights right here. See, there's another bed in front of the door area. So she slept in this bed right here. Then this bed is just for, I don't know. I was listening to a podcast today, and the lady that was talking about how Murphy fluctuated, excuse me, fluctuated between both rooms. Sometimes he'd sleep in Maddie's room. Sometimes he would sleep in Kaylee's room. Hi, Leslie. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. She states, if those beds were positioned back to back, no way they were sleeping in the same bed. I don't know how that could be possible. Honestly, I really don't. Because this is a very small room, but look how it's set up. It's set up like somebody's, because there's a mirror, there's all kinds of stuff here. There's another mirror here with all kinds of stuff here, and they have the same kind of lighting. So possibly this was set up. She had another roommate or something, maybe. See, there's initials AC. Do you think these could be ASHLYNN Couch's initials? Maybe she slept in this room whenever she came to visit. What do y'all think, guys? Because that's not Maddie's initials. Maddie's would be MM. This would be AC. So what do y'all think about those initials right there? So if on that night, ASHLYNN was already graduated, so she wouldn't have been at this house. But maybe when she came to stay, or maybe her last semester of living in the house, maybe she didn't live in the first room. Maybe she lived up here with Maddie. Maybe they both shared this room. Maybe that's why her initials are on the wall. And this is Maddie's initial. You know, as I showed you in the other picture, that one's a little more to the side. See, it's in this picture as well. And there's two desks with two chairs. This side would have been ASHLYNN's side, obviously, if she was staying on this side. And there would have been another one on this other side. So possibly they shared this room. This looks like a shower curtain / curtains. I don't know. They look like curtains with the little rod things in here. But I don't know. I don't believe that this was the window where the boots are. The boots are back here in this, on the back side where the balcony is. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know what you think. Golf says, very good observations. Leslie says, definitely could be. I was just looking at that and I was thinking, well, why is there an AC on that wall if it was totally Maddie's room? So maybe Maddie got used to there being someone in the room with her. You know what I mean? Like when you're used to somebody being in there to talk to joke around with, this and that and the other, that could have been the reason why Kaylee was in that room. She could have been, we never know if she was sleeping in the same bed just because she was found in the same bed. She could have been in this bed and ended up over here in the corner, so to speak, because the doorway is right here on the other side of this bed. So you don't know if she ended up on this side because whoever did this, or maybe they took Kaylee out first and then took Maddie out, and Maddie was right here. Maybe Maddie was obviously intoxicated enough that she might have slept through that attack, and they could have injured Kaylee to the point where she was incapacitated, taking Maddie out, and then finish Kaylee off. Sure, I'm sure Maddie was happy to have Kaylee in town for a sleepover. Exactly. I'm gonna show you another picture because I'm gonna tie all these in together. I don't wanna give up all the goods right now, but I want to show you something. This was Kaylee's room. This was the picture that was taken as it showed her bed was pulled down. Her bed lining was pulled down, the good vibes. So it looks like they had 3 good vibe signs in that whole area. Because there was one in there's one in Maddie's room, and then there was one in the hallway. So this is another bed. This is Kaylee's bed. As we've seen this photo, because this is the balcony. This is her slider, and you can see that the bed had been turned down. So you see that people were possibly saying that she was staying there that weekend. She was sleeping in this bed. She went across the room to the other side. Tell me what y'all think about what I've shown so far. Give me some insight. You said, sure, I'm sure Maddie was happy to have Kaylee in town for a sleepover. I wonder if they were looking for AC as well. You never know. I mean, that could have been who they mistaken Kaylee for. I don't know. It's just interesting when I was looking at those photos, and I have a bunch of videos. Let me see if I can pull one of those up right quick while I have this up. Might as well utilize good live time, right? As long as I don't go hours and hours and hours. This is what I was spending my time with yesterday as I was cleaning out stuff. I was looking through videos as well. They were kind of going with the cell phone towers and things of that nature. But I want to wait on those. And I might not have those videos. Okay. Okay. Let me start with this one, okay? Let's start with this one. Y'all still with me, all right? This one's going to talk about early on, we heard where Dylan supposedly yelled, "Shut the up." Okay. Leslie said, "Remember the 4chan post said Kaylee was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I am very keen on your take on this, so do not want to add too much of my own observation just yet." Okay. Well, I want to play this video because I watched it and I was thinking back when they were talking about this. And this was supposedly what this happened right before she heard Kaylee playing with her dog. Let's listen to it.
Tell you, it certainly does give a little bit more perspective as to why she didn't call 911 right away, perhaps. We're told that Dylan actually mistook the noises that she'd been hearing. Remember, the affidavit said that around 4 a.m. she could hear some noises up on the third floor, thought it was maybe, Kaylee playing with the dog, Murphy, didn't think a lot more than that. But ultimately, a few moments later, she heard a lot of noises. She opened her door and effectively kind of yelled out to her roommates, "Calm down, like cut it out, keep it down. You guys are being loud. I'm trying to sleep. It's late." Thinking that there were roommates horsing around, that perhaps all that noise that she was hearing was just them, being boisterous and still in party mode. It was late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. So she then closed her door and went back to bed, but within minutes, perhaps sort of roused again by noise, opens the door again, was going to say something again to the effect of, "Keep it down already. It's the middle of the night." And that's when she sees the figure coming towards her. Now, this has been a big bone of contention for a lot of people.
Okay, at that point, she didn't say keep it down. She didn't say, "Hey guys, I'm trying to sleep." Supposedly, she said, "Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to sleep." That's what she said. So at this point, she had opened that door twice. So supposedly, she had yelled out for them to be quiet twice. Okay? That's what Ashley Banfield's saying. She had yelled out twice. And on this third time, this is when she sees the masked figure.
Why, if you saw some shadowy, terrifying figure walking towards you, would you just close your door and go back to bed and not call the police? And the characterization to the source who spoke directly with her after the murders is that she didn't think that that figure was anything other than just part of the horsing around, maybe one of the partiers, maybe somebody who was a friend of one of the other roommates that was making all the noise. But it, startled her nonetheless to see a man in the middle of the night, dark, walking towards her. Thank you for watching. Go to news.
Now, you tell me, that sounds pretty normal, right? It sounds pretty normal to be wanting to sleep and you yell, "Hey, be quiet. I'm trying to sleep, y'all. Y'all hold it down. I'm trying to sleep." But none of that's in the PCA. None of that's in the PCA. Right. Frozen shock phase and locked her door. But none of that's in the PCA. That she told them to shut the fuck up. Why did they omit that? Dude, why are you being an ass? So, this other part right here, he's talking about the frozen shock phase when she opened the door for the third time and she saw the figure clad in black. And she stood there in a frozen shock phase. That's what the PCA says. And then once the figure passed her, she locked her door and went to sleep. That's what the PCA says. That's what he's referencing. What I'm going to show you right here, and this is the last video I'm going to show for tonight because I want to put the other stuff together. This was interesting to me because listen to what they say about these camera images. This was very early on. I have all this stuff from very early on because I was doing a lot of research, but I never could get it all together. And now it all makes sense to me because we have the PCA, we have all this other stuff coming from the hearings and all that. You're very right. Whenever you're scared or you've been traumatized through seeing something that you normally wouldn't see. And I'll talk about that here in a minute before I sign off. But I want to show you this video and listen to what they say about the video and the situation surrounding the video. This is very early on. This is 1 year ago, but I'm sure it was closer to almost 2 years ago. Okay, here we go. I swear, if I can get myself back on track here, maybe I need to share with you guys as well. Here we go. Pay attention to what they talk about in this video, okay?
Yeah, this was interesting. You showed that map. This liquor store is nowhere near. It's really on the opposite side of town from the gas station that we focused on last night, where the surveillance video was of the car. What we know, Ashley, is that within the last week, I don't have a specific day, but I know within the last week, police showed up at that state liquor store and that they got surveillance video from the store. There are cameras on the outside of the store that point towards the road there and the parking lot where the liquor store is. And it's a busy area. There's hotels around. There's a couple of other stores. There's one of the cameras right there. You can see the way it points out. And then there are also cameras inside the store. I wasn't able to get specifics about whether police were interested in the video from outside or inside, but I am told that they got everything they wanted and that they were there within the last week.
So here's where I get confused. I would have assumed the minute you kill 4 people, you are amscraying as fast as you can in the opposite direction of where those murders happened. And yet it almost seems as though the gas station's on one side of town, there's liquor stores on another. I haven't been there. So from your perspective, what does this tell you that there's video in 2 different locations that's of interest to the police?
Well, what it tells me is I don't know that we should read too much into thinking that these things are specifically connected to the crime. Number one, Ashley, the video from last night, we went over it so closely, you and I. It is blurry, and we don't know for sure that it's a Hyundai Elantra. The gas station, you see the map again where the video came from last night. So that could be totally unrelated. And then the liquor store, we don't have enough details. I mean, have they just been going to different stores trying to get video? I've told you before, there's a lot of stores here that don't have cameras because there's not a lot of crime here. Are they just hitting up every store that has a camera and trying to see what they can find? Or is there a reason they specifically targeted this liquor store? At this point, we don't know. But it is interesting that they just went there within the last week. Did something cause them to go there just within the last week? Again, things, police aren't giving us those kinds of specifics.
And how about the lucky break that the video still exists? We're 31 days out. Everybody knows that video is a finite compilation. Storage space is limited. And, you went to a place last night, a vape store that was just down the road from that gas station. And they said we would have happily handed over our security video, but it was past 7 days when they arrived. We didn't have any. It had all been taped over or it was gone from the buffer. Those are frustrating questions I think the public has a right to ask, because we have been told all along that there is this, almost 100-person force that's descended onto this case, Brian. So it's distressing to think that 31 days and just in the last few days, we're hearing that video is being collected. I would have assumed just about every point of reference in Moscow would have been collected. On the odd chance there'll be a tip about a car. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the direction. I'm going to ask our control room to put that map up again, because when you say that they're far between each other, if you started the crime scene down on the left-hand side of your screen on the bottom, it is really circuitous to get to that gas station and drive by and then end up way up at the liquor store. Could you tell me if there's like an I-95 escape route that would be quicker if you went that direction? Like, does that direction make any sense anywhere if you were to go by the liquor store first and then the gas station, or the gas station first and then the liquor store?
Not really. And I'm looking at the map, and what's interesting is in between all of these locations is the University of Idaho. So the campus is in the middle. And what I've been trying to figure out, you mentioned the vape shop. We went to the vape shop yesterday, which is near the gas station where the video was taken, over on the right side of your screen. They say the police came to their establishment 9 days after the murders looking for video, and they didn't have it anymore because their systems delete video after a week. So that was 9 days after the murder. The liquor store says the police came within just this last week, which is interesting when you look at the timeline. Why were they interested in the area where the vape store is early on, and now they seem to be focusing or at least looking for video in the area where the liquor store is, which is on the other side of town?
A month later. Yeah. Okay. I have to ask this last question because obviously, Brian, all of these questions are excellent questions for the police. And I know our viewers have been watching this story and they will know what today is. Today is Wednesday, exactly 4 weeks since they held their press conference last. And now we can't ask these questions or get public scrutiny on the work of the police. Do we have any idea when they might face reporters again?
Well, we expect to be able to talk to the police tomorrow, to the public information officer. And look, I sort of get it. I mean, when there's not a big update, what is the point of doing interviews when you're just going to sort of say the same thing and in a way just kind of frustrate people? So I think that today they chose to sort of have an off day, and then tomorrow, hopefully, maybe we'll get a little bit more information.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red.
Okay. I thought y'all might enjoy that video. I thought, there's some stuff in that video that if you've heard it, it's been so long that you've heard it. Maybe it's, pried some information loose that you can make sense of. It's anything but speculation. So it was camera footage that they captured from a liquor store, and they would have had the vape shop camera footage, but they waited after 7 days. It just sounds like the police department or whoever was investigating at this point were just not on the ball when it came to getting the camera footage information in enough time. What do y'all think? You think they did a good job? Do you think they gathered the appropriate camera footage they needed, or could possibly something be on this other camera footage that could either exonerate or maybe point to a different suspect? What do y'all think? Yeah, following other leads, yes. Incompetence, possibly. I mean, but there was a lot of people. This was day 31. It showed at the bottom of the screen, so it was about a month in. They lost a lot of time to get this video footage that could potentially have different stuff on there. I just hope that they got what they needed. I hope they got what they needed. It sounds like they got a bunch of video footage, the terabytes. I'm just wondering, looking and listening at these old videos, I'm just wondering, so much is out there, if there would have been any kind of other information that they could have possibly integrated into the evidence, and that's what I've been wondering all along as I'm watching these videos. Like I said, I'm in the process of reviewing these because I'm looking for a specific video. I did email Brian Inton today. Hopefully he checks his emails, and hopefully or somebody associated with him checks his emails, because I'm after a specific video, and I know I saw it probably 3 or 4 days on, and this video tells a lot, but I haven't been able to find it. I haven't been able to look and find what I'm looking for. I'm searching all over because I want this video. Sarge, yeah, I was thinking about not doing that, but when I started looking at some of these videos and some of the information, pictures, and things of that nature that I've stored away, it got me intrigued on some other areas that maybe I forgot to follow up on. Not because, unlike some people that are stating boldly they're going to solve the crime online, I'm not trying to solve the crime. I'm just trying to look at some different avenues that I was going to speak on whenever I got the channel, but I never followed up on because I just started going on different avenues, different rabbit holes. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little bit that I presented tonight. Golf Inspector says, what specifically were you looking for as the video goes? Well, I remember News Nation doing a kind of like a newscast from in front of the 1122 residents. And I remember Brian Enton speaking about the 712 Queen Road residence, which was right across the street from the 1122 King Road house. When this broadcast, he was diagramming a triangulation of what that video would be able to see. And on that video, it also states that the sister of Kaylee was able to dig up a ring camera that showed her sister and Murphy in the backyard. Yes, very early on. I think it was within days, if that. And they were speaking about it, and he was diagramming this video from this location. They called it ring camera. I know the one on the Queen Road apartment, the apartment 52. I know that one. I know the one 1112. But this camera footage picked up Kaylee and Murphy in the backyard. She could see them in the backyard, like he had just taken them out after they got dropped off from the rideshare driver. I remember seeing that, and I thought to myself, man, I need to save this. But you know, when I'm viewing these videos and stuff, I'm viewing them in between certain things. So I really wasn't able to save it. And I didn't have a channel at that point. So, you know, I've spoke about that in other chats and things of that nature. And people instantly have shut me down, said, no, the 1112 camera. It was, you know, the apartment 52 camera. Well, you tell me, if it was the apartment 52 camera, how could she have seen in the backyard? How could she have seen in the backyard on the 1112 camera? She specifically stated, I saw my sister take the dog out when they got home. Yeah, that's the one. That's the interview. And I've looked at the interview, but there's no mention. Brian Enton's in front of the 1122 house talking about the 712 house with the ring camera. And he's even showing there's the camera that's been taken down and on the side of the building. You're absolutely correct. Yes, that's the one that I'm looking for, that interview and the triangulation, because for no other reason than I'm tired of people calling me crazy. I did a video on this on my channel, and I talked about the second camera, and this is the second camera that I was referring to. But I didn't have any kind of information on this that I want to show how that camera could have seen more than the 11, 12, and the 52 saw as mentioned in the PCA. You get what I'm saying? That's why I want to find that newscast. You got where you go look, taken off the side of the building. Okay. Thank you, Goff. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. The back area seems so dark. But this camera would have been facing, you can't even look on that street anymore for me to show you. But maybe I can, let me look this up really quick so I can show you what I'm talking about. Maybe I can show the building. Because a lot of people may have heard this early on, but they really, like you just said, Golf, it was taken down so quickly. So I was wondering if maybe the police took it and this has more information about what they're talking about or not. Let me show you the overhead. Okay, y'all can see that, right? Let me try to zoom in a little more. Right here's the King Road house, or used to be. This is what I'm talking about, 712 Queen Road. It was right here on this area right here where this silver car is. There was a camera right there. Okay, so that camera would have been able, the triangulation that Brian Enton was showing, he was standing right here in front of the Queen Road street, and he was showing this residence right here. Well, this triangulation would have been able to see this image. I don't know if you can see my mouse, but right through half the house. So it would have been able to capture this little area right here in between the houses. It would have been right here. This building right here would have been able to capture in between these buildings into the backyard. So if she let him go and he went to the left side right here, she would have been able to see her sister and a dog. Yeah, this could be the video. Yeah. And I've been trying to talk about this for a long time. Not that it's any kind of boom information or anything like that. But what all is on this one? Because you would have been able to see a lot more from that camera image. You would have seen the side view. You would have been able to see the car as it's coming up because of the triangulation. You would have been able to see possibly the back of the car. This was the camera that they said was triggered by a cat urinating. Okay, the cat urinating triggered that camera to turn on. So when this cat triggered this camera, it started recording. So what all did it see? And in the PCA, it talks about the white Elantra going around the building and pulling into the driveway and getting stuck and then backing out and then going down Queen Road. So was that the time that camera captured an image of the Elantra that many people have not seen or heard about? Yes, that's the one. Yes, that's the one. But people quit talking about that and they focused on the ring camera, or not the ring camera, the light bulb camera that was at 1112 Queen Road. See how all this stuff is blurred out? You can't even see any of it anymore. This is the apartment building alongside, almost catty corner to 1122. So you're telling me, because people were arguing with me, I'm pretty sure they do. So people were arguing with me. There's no way. It was the 1112 or it was the 52. Well, how would Olivia, Kaylee's sister, even have spoken to get the right time of the rideshare driver? That's how she supposedly got that time correctly as well, because she saw this camera footage that showed them dropping them off, her sister going in the house, coming back around the house, and letting the dog out. How could she have seen all that from this camera that's facing this way and this camera that's way over here? There's no way. You tell me that. Two cameras are gone, not just one. Yes, you're right. Neither one that Ann is asking for. Possibly. I kept arguing this as well. I didn't know you did that, but I'm glad you did, because I've thought about that the whole time. And I mean, I used to watch you when you were on Rory's panel, but I didn't watch every single one. You know, I didn't watch all of them because they were long and there was a lot of people on there. And it was hard to really decipher a lot of things. Well, I thought Olivia was saying that the driver gave her the time. I didn't realize that. I think she got the time from actually seeing the driver drop them off and actually watching, because if those cameras are right here, you can see it over here to this house. And I'm pretty sure that that's probably a reason these cameras were even up, to monitor this house somehow, you know, to make sure that if there was anything going on the street, they would be able to see it. You know what I mean? Cars being broken into, any of that stuff. Because that house that had the car broken into, that house was this one right here. It would be 1126 King Road. And then there was rumors that there was a camera on the backside of 1126 that would have been shining into the backyard. So obviously, if that's true, then that camera would have captured everything that night. You get what I'm saying, guys? So if there's a camera, if they confiscated the camera on 1126 King Road that was supposedly on the backside, because there's like a balcony over here, because that's the house that got broken into. That's the one where the girl said she woke up, her stuff was gone through, and her panties were in the cup holder. That's that house. So supposedly speculatory, they said they put a camera on the backside of the house. So if this was the house, then it definitely would have seen everything. It would have seen Brian or whoever walk up through the backyard, what happened in the backyard, and somebody leaving. Okay. Okay, let me get away from the map. I want to show you one more photo and then I'm out of here, because I'm spilling too much and I don't want to do that all on one live. I get tunnel visioned and I can't stop talking. Let me show you this photo right here. This is what it looked like on the night of the murders. I don't know how they got that. Not the night of the murders, but you know, probably the next couple of days or the weeks or whatever. But you can tell they left the house exactly how they found it. So these lights were on. Okay, so you say, well, how would Olivia have been able to see Kaylee back there in the back and everything else? Well, these lights, they shoot off some light. You know, you can see over here pretty quick. You know, she would have been able to see, as many people have stated, she would have been able to see either a shadow or she would have been able to see her sister. Drop a link and I can talk for a few minutes. Okay. Let me get you up here. There you go. Come on up. So everything that I've showed, it collaborate together. I hope that I took you on a little blast from the past, because a lot of this stuff hasn't been talked about, or it was seen a couple times and people just kind of didn't really pay it no mind. Hey, Golf, how are you doing?
Hi. All right. I don't want to, steal your whatever you're going to do in the future. But if you go back to the actual little map you had of the overview of
Yeah.
King Road House, I'll
Yes.
show you, because as I said, there are two news reports actually covering the cameras. One was Brian Enton and one was another news station, which I have not been able to find either. And so there were two cameras, and I'll show you exactly where they were.
Okay, let me pull that up.
And when the news reporter was out there, that one camera, I think, if I'm not mistaken, she might have said that they just took it down or it was still on there. I cannot 100% say either or. But you look at where that long building next to 1122 King Road, to the right, that building. On the side, facing the street, going towards, and the camera was facing down that road. So facing 1122 King Road. And it was somewhere in the, no, the other way. Go
This
to the
way.
right. More there somewhere. On the side of that building was a camera. And the reporter was standing there and she was showing it. And it was facing down towards the King Road. So you could
Okay, so
actually,
this would have been 52 right here,
that would
right?
have been the other one, correct?
Yeah, 52, yeah.
And that's gone. And
Yeah.
then the other one, and I think the reason we're not, like, it's blocked out, because I went through this area when I canvassed it, and I don't know if I have a screenshot saved yet of this, but I went through, and the side one you're talking about, I might
Yeah.
have a picture of it. I don't know. I have to go and look if I saved it,
Okay.
because I took screenshots back when this started. I just went through, on Google Earth kind of thing, though I don't
Right.
know when that's dated. So I just wanted to throw those two yeah. I
Okay,
mean, the
so
one
there was two other. Yeah, this one would have been 52. This one would have
Mhm.
caught the car coming up Queen
Correct.
Road and
Correct.
going back down and around. But they really don't talk. They talk very briefly about this one in the very beginning.
Yeah, because they took it down, and you have to
Yeah,
question why. Why would you take it down? Why
yeah,
would you
and that's
remove
the
a
one.
camera?
And I don't know what I was doing that day, but I caught toward the end of the live newscast or whatever. It was News Nation, and Brian was out here, Brian Enton, and he was diagramming it on there. He was diagramming the triangulation,
Mhm.
what all it would see. And I was like, man, that is freaking interesting. I bet that's where they got the shot from.
Yeah, but why
And
did they take it down?
I don't know. I don't know if that's part of the evidence that they're using. I don't remember. I don't know. But that video is gone. I emailed him today,
Mhm.
and I don't know if that was the correct email or whatever, but hopefully he gets back with me.
Yeah. No, and then I had Rory walk around. I said, Rory, go to this building. And he went there. And then he went to the other building, and they're both still gone. So they're not on the building
So
itself.
he saw the one on the apartments, right? And
Yeah, but they're gone. Like the camera is gone.
yeah.
There's no evidence of there even being a camera. They thought that
I
was
mean,
fake. I was like, no. I remember this because I saw the news make you stand there and point those out. So
Yes,
I
exactly.
remember it very distinctly, and it kept in my mind. So yes,
Yeah, I
they were.
mean, I used to get on chats and talk about that camera, and I'd have people like, "No, that
Mhm,
camera 52, you're wrong, this, that, and the other," and I was like,
mm-mm,
"Well, if it was camera 52, even if it was facing from the front, coming up the driveway, like you're saying,
mhm,
it would have caught the car going up.
mhm.
It would have seen, the car going back down." But how could it have seen the back of the house? And I heard that more than once about her sister seeing her let the dog out.
I heard that too, and I just chalked that up to rumor, but that would explain if she got a hold, because we do know she got a hold of cameras, right?
Yes, very quickly, very quickly.
So I mean that could be absolutely correct, and it's still a rumor, but it could be right.
Well, maybe Olivia frequented that house more than people know. She could have known where all the cameras were all over that place. You know what I mean?
Oh
We
yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean that's
We
a
don't
possibility, or she went there and she just knocked on people's doors and just got it. Like
Very true, very true,
that
yeah.
that's something like you were mentioning earlier, where the police didn't get it until like 2 weeks later. I'm not going to get into it now. I'm sure you want to do another show about that. So,
Yes.
but these are big valid questions, and even why would they give it to her? Because I'm sure it wasn't law enforcement that gave it to her. It was
Right.
her own initiative to go and collect it.
I mean, everybody has a price.
Yeah.
Everybody has a price. You say the right price, I'm sure they'll be like, "Well, here you go. Don't tell anybody I gave it to you," type of stuff.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. All right. I just wanted to throw that out there. You're not crazy. I remember it, and I think a lot of people do. And I've been advocating that or talking about that camera, and people thought I was like, no, 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 that's the wrong one. Everybody kept saying that. So you're right.
Right. Well, another thing while I have you up here really quickly, what did you
Hmm.
think about the liquor store thing where she said, how can they be, looking at two different locations of two different directions heading out of town? Did you ever hear that in the very beginning?
I think so. I think I remember it, but I took it like so when that came out, I was like, shit, they waited this long, a month in to gather that, because the first thing you would do is you take in and out of town, like the clear roads, right? So here's a road
Right.
in and out of town. You go to, like, you collect, because it doesn't necessarily, mean that somebody's from town who did the crime. So you go to those areas, right? So I don't know what the
Mhm.
hell they were doing. The only thing I can think of is like they were following other leads when this was happening in the beginning, and just like that whole thing, they just like put it together last minute later
Right.
on, whatever they could find. And that's why it's so shoddy around what they have around Koberger, right? It's like
Right.
they just got what they got because it was a month later and they
I mean,
couldn't get.
yeah, that's what I'm doing with all these old notes and stuff that
Hmm.
because I didn't have a channel during that time. I
Hmm.
didn't get a channel until way, way after. So, but I was still doing notes and, saving videos and pictures and all this stuff. I was going through it today and I was watching some of it and I was like, man, I don't even remember that. I don't remember the liquor store. I don't remember this part, this
Hmm.
and that and the other.
There's a lot. Like if you go back, we've done it many times in the beginning where we went back and listened to, everything from the beginning, right? Every
Yeah.
single news report and stuff like that. And that just faded out when everybody started focusing on Brian Koberger. So that's
Exactly.
something that, it's probably a good thing to do, to go back to those things again before they had Koberger, what was in the news reports and what came out, because it probably deserves a second look. So you're definitely going down the right path. It's going to be very interesting to get your take on it,
I appreciate
actually.
that. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Well, anytime you want to hop up, just let me know. I'll let you hop up here. Sarge
Thank
is
you.
waiting in the wings, and let me see what you got to say. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Clemenati, I want to say that the answer to your question is no. Actually, the person that cuts my hair actually does it with the clippers, just in a straight kind of curvature. Are you going to be nice, or I'll remove you right now?
Ooh, he's coming out swinging. I don't know
Yeah.
what to say.
Yeah.
What? I'm confused. I thought you were quitting this. You told me you were quitting this. I announced on my show you were quitting because you were disgusted with all these people out here. And then,
Well, I didn't do a live. I didn't do a live today. I did a
no,
recording and I messed it up. So I had to, get up here and redeem myself a little bit with the information that I've been looking at, that I've been wanting to talk about. So that's why this live happened. I was ready to, throw it in,
you're right.
but
Well, I didn't want you to throw it in. I thought that was a bad idea. But now I got to go on my Uriah Search News Network and make a correction in the news department. I got to call the technical department. I got to get a hold of people in Beijing. Hopefully, they're not recreating in my Ligma Balls convention center. I don't know what I'm going to do, but we will straighten it out.
Just send out a news flash that 11 plus 1 is still in the game. All right, I'm not being a getter.
When you quit, I assigned you 11 minus 1.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now you're back, so I don't know what to do. But 11 plus 1. Sure.
11 plus 1 is here. Yeah.
So
I've been going through a lot of this stuff, and I just started. Like I said, I was just going to do a recording, and I haven't done a recording in so long that obviously I didn't put this stuff on right, so I got to go and delete it.
I don't think you should quit anyway. I mean,
yeah,
people need a balance. Yeah, it takes a longer time for people trying to do the proper thing to get a following. It's obvious the viewers are brainwashed, and it'll take a while to snap them out of that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do it because of that. I was just kind of frustrated, man. Whenever people start instantly attacking somebody because of their assumption or belief about, like, that preacher, you know what I mean? And everybody's been calling him a pedophile already. They've divided sides. He's a pedophile. He's
Right.
this. He's that. I'm not defending him. I don't want y'all to get the wrong idea. I'm not defending him. I just don't know enough about their history to be able to say the man's a pedophile. Look up the fucking definition of what pedophile is. And if that meets your definition, then that's your fucking definition. But don't be instantly putting people on blast like that, because I'm sure some of you in the South have very deep root that you could be called fucking incest survivors as well. So be very mindful of who you call and cast stones at, because I'm sure a lot of you don't have very clean closets either. So it might come back to haunt you one day,
That's the best part about it. None of us have a clean closet, but to me, it's the filthiest thing in the world. They've ruled the woman committed suicide.
Right.
Now YouTube, these geniuses on YouTube are trying to sell the idea he killed her. And if he didn't kill her, she killed herself because he's a scumbag who's a pedophile.
Yeah.
Right. And they got no information, no fact, no nothing, just more tragedy on top of tragedy, because that's what 65.2 billion morons do.
Right.
It's tragic. Anyway,
yes, I am, Randy. I'm talking about that really quickly. Yeah, I wanted to get Sarge up here, see what he had to say, make sure he was going to play nice before he got up here. I wasn't ready to.
I always play nice.
Yeah, calling me a red dot, that's not very nice, Sarge.
I think I asked a question.
No, you said you
you
look like a red dot.
Well, yeah,
Hold accountability. Hold accountability.
On the new haircut and the beard cut, yeah, it's like, what happened? He changed his whole appearance.
Oh, this is usually my appearance. I mean, it's summertime. Right. It's too hot to wear that other stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, it was better than calling you Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, grilled chicken, it's good for the soul. Hey, you guys, thank you very much for attending this live. Like I said, I was planning on just uploading a video, and it went awry. Tell your peeps that I didn't go anywhere, and I wasn't really planning on it. Just needed some time off.
I
You
like
guys
that.
keep doing what you're doing. Keep on doing the good deed. And you know what time it is, right? Tell me.
I don't
Tell
even
me.
know.
What do I say? What do I say?
I don't know.
Come on, man. What do I say
I
at the
can't
end of my?
think. I'm mesmerized by that moon. I'm picturing Cluminati's head on top of it, her arms on each side.
Maestro, cue the music.